Hey everybody, welcome back to This Old Trike. Today, I've got the 88 Big Red, this 86 Big Red, and my Big Blue in the shop. And I'm also looking at the calendar. And today is May 9th, 2023. So including today, that I just counted, that's 23 days left in May. And then June is 19 days that I have available to work on Hondas before Trike Fest. I leave for Trike Fest the morning of June 20th, 2023. So 19 plus 23 is what? 42 days. 42 days to get this thing looking nice. And let me show you how not nice it is. So I am thrilled to have an 88 Big Red. Do not get me wrong. This thing's amazing. The fact that it sits here in my shop, not being sold in the US, being one of the most recognized rare Hondas, is an honor. This thing needs some attention. So this came from England, jolly old England. As you recall, I won this on an eBay auction in I think it was 2021. It's 2 years I've had it. And I think that's when it was, yeah. 2021. And it's basically not changed. I did get that seat for it from my buddy Travis up in Canada. It looks really light, right? Compared to the 86 color. Travis says it's as close as I'm going to get. I'd like to believe that there could be better. I want it to be this color, because it doesn't look quite right. But, you know, this is also a lighter gray on the 88s. The fact that somebody drilled it for that toggle switch, whatever the heck that was for. Probably whatever they had bolted here was run off that toggle switch. Anyway, I'm going to give this a restoration, a prestoration. We're going to use a lot of stuff off this guy as donor parts. It's a beautiful 86, and I hate to do this to it, but it's to make an 88 look better. So definitely fenders, and who knows whatever else. The chassis will become the chassis of the blue, so all the blue skins go onto that chassis. Those fenders go onto this machine. Those tires go onto this machine. That Speedo goes onto this machine. Do they use kilometers over there? I don't know. I think I got another Speedo, so that Speedo comes off that machine. Regardless, stays. This tank goes on this machine with decals that have been made by Bruce Allman, Blue Line decals. Even the white triangle, which is the only Big Red that gets that. So, that being said, I've got some work to do. My goal is to get this torn down, frame, everything ready for powder. If not tomorrow, tomorrow's Wednesday, by Thursday, I got to drop that off at my powder coater and get this done. So, watch this. Well, I tell you what, this 88 Big Red is a formidable opponent. It is fighting me. So each bolt that came out of the rack was a challenge, and this is the only one that sheared, and thankfully it sheared at the head. But I've got it soaking with some Croil. I don't know if you guys know Croil. What did I do with it? Oh, it's there on the ground. So this is just a penetrating oil. It looks like it's 50 years old, but it's actually like a 2-year-old bottle. So as opposed to PB Blaster or whatever, which PB Blaster is good because you can shoot it. This, you kind of have to drip it into different areas, and it looks like that. Probably should focus on a few different areas, but I wanted to show you this. We experienced a tragedy. This is my favorite JIS screwdriver, if I could get it to focus. Look what happened. The tip sheared right off. So this is just a testament, okay, of the gripping power in this screw. Before that rounded over, it grabbed so hard, it broke this with just hand strength. It's not an impact, but it broke that. So that's crazy. It's kind of devastating, actually. I'm sad. Got the front rack off. Everything is rusty, crusty. So I'm going to have to make some decisions. Like, see how this is a little tweaked and that's a little tweaked? I got to talk to my buddy at my powder coat shop and see if that can be straightened before it's powdered. I don't want to put a bent rack on. The thing is, it's got these tabs. So I do have to preserve the tabs. Or if I put a US rack in its place, it has to have the tabs put on. But I'm going to Croil a few more bolts and things. This had those heel guards on, and a guy has copied them, and he's waiting on me to confirm whether or not they fit the 86 and the 85 frames. And I need to get to that for him. But the original heel guard, that's why there's zip ties on that. The original heel guard, it hangs over here. This is the original Honda heel guard, and this is a clone that he made. And this is a cool necklace that my buddy Ryan Mallon made for me that I wear on special occasions. Okay, where was I? Lost. I'm going to Croil some things, and then we'll give it a go more tomorrow morning. That was an hour and a half's worth of work, so we definitely have our work ahead of us. And that's it for now. It is just about 6 a.m. We're going to give it to her again. What's our plan for this morning? Let's get that rack off. My problem with the rack is they put the rack knobs where those shouldered bolts should be. Gimbal is there. There you go. It's pretty early for the gimbal. They put those rack knobs there, and they are pretty rusted in, and that plastic to steel bond there is not as hardy as the rust that's holding the bolt in. So those may get compromised, which is unfortunate. But I'm going to aim for having the rack off, handlebars off, maybe get the air box and carb out. If I got the carb out, I could get that to Mr. Eldridge at 223 cycles. I'm going to keep it on 3 wheels until I have to get it off 3 wheels. Anyway, that's the story. Let's see how far we get. Well, I had you all set up to time lapse, but I botched it. I didn't start it. So you missed like what, 30 minutes or so. So let me show you what you missed as I balance things precariously. So we had another casualty here. I was heating this up all over, and I intentionally got it hot enough where this pulled off, and my idea was if I could get that off, I could get to the actual hex head and treat that as a bolt, and then I could epoxy this back on. I know it doesn't look good, but I got to that, and she started to come out and then promptly sheared. And I'm being as dutiful and as delicate as I can to do this. That one came out. This one did not. So, gotta get that drilled out. I moved on to airbox, snorkel, carburetor. And I'm noticing, I don't think this is how the 85 to 87s are, unless, I haven't been in on an 87. Yeah, I have. I've cleaned those carbs, but I've noticed, this, I'm hearing the fire whistle. This is tying into an elaborate venting system. So one goes down, one tucks in over here. That's interesting. So I'm about to get this pulled out for Mr. Curdy. I was just double checking my my hose routing, because an 85 to 87 manual will show clearly where the hoses go, but the 88 manual, I don't have one. So it's gonna keep going. I'll actually do time lapse now. Well, some more things have come off. It is crusty. There were critters in the box. I broke another JIS screwdriver. Same deal. Same screw. I can't even call it a bolt. Why can't that focus? Maybe on my finger. There it is. So this will grip so hard in a screw that it will break the screwdriver before it rounds over the screw. How about that? But it was the same brake lever perch screw, the lower one. I heated up the thing, but it broke on me. I broke a drill bit trying to get the throttle unscrewed. Those have been swapped out. I'll probably hit just a couple more things with Croyle before I leave for work. But day 2 of teardown is in the books. And this is what's inside the handle on a rack knob. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, that's great. That was 10 millimeter. I grabbed right on that, and I didn't, jerk it. I just easy. Yep, there she goes. Oh, there she went. So unfortunate, but that's where we leave her for today. And we will pick up with you tomorrow. Okay. Now here's something funny. I got to get this to the powder coater. Come on, gimbal. Are you serious? I got to get this to the powder coater tomorrow. I mean, totally doable if I didn't have to go to work and take my daughter to soccer practice and be a good husband and father and all those things. But we're going to get right after it. I don't know where you guys want to watch from today, but we'll figure it out. Okay? Here we go. Welcome back to Preston's House of Rust, where on today's never-ending episode we have made some progress. The rear end was coming apart better than I had expected based on how the other stuff was coming apart. But we're at the point where I've got to use this tool that I borrowed from my good buddy Aaron Aguilera. Thank you, Aaron. We're going to pop these caps off and pull the swing arm off. So I'm going to have to get this on a stand. I learned not to do this. Don't do this. I was backing that bolt out right into that mount for the tow hitch. It's a ratchet screwdriver, and I can't get it off now. So I loosened the 3 bolts that I could get to. I couldn't get to this bolt, so I can't. I'm out of room. Look at that shock. I'm gonna be in the market for a shock. I'm tallying up new hardware because you could save it and make this work, but this machine deserves nice new hardware, so we're going to do that for it. But I'll get this set up and we'll see how this goes. So here we go. I got to show you. So I pulled the cap off. This was broken. I don't think I broke it, but it's right here. But look at this. Oh boy. What do you think that's going to be like to remove? We'll find out. Maybe I'll keep you along for the journey. Okay. So this is a 2-part system. What we're going to do is try to free up the outer... I got to get that piece out. The outer, like, locking ring. This is really not in the way. Let's get a pick in there. It's just a lot of scale. I'm going to spray some PB Blaster in there just to kind of lube things. Okay. Okay. I don't really like that alignment. I like that better. It's going to make this one pop a wheelie. What's the better way to do this? Need about 4 good-sized friends. Let's get some heat on it. That's always fun. I'll come back for that. Okay. I'm a little hard of hearing now. But I tell you what, I never would have got that off with just that wrench. I had to put some impact behind it, and it came out. But you'll see this is the outer kind of lock ring, and it came out with the actual pivot bolt. So the other side didn't have a lock ring. I can't remember if it's only one side or the other. But that's good news that it came out. I was starting to get a little bit nervous. But I'm going to pull this and continue on getting the swing arm out. This is cut off, so this can come out. Battery box, air box, wiring harness, front end, and the motor. This thing's got to go to powder tomorrow. We are still on, what is it, day 40. Tomorrow is day 39. No worries. No worries whatsoever, right? We're good. All right, let's do some time lapse. All right. Burned another day. Where are we? Oh, all right. Oh my gosh. Look at the mess. So I don't tear down 250 ES big reds ever. So this was a learning process for me. It there's kind of a sequence that you get into when you do a fair amount of these, and don't do this before you do that. And I was just kind of jumping around, combined with the fact that this is really crusty. Like this is fighting me. That should be hand snug. Really, hand snug plus. The nut that goes on that fought me. And it wasn't until I could lay the frame on its side without a motor in it that I could get that off. And I couldn't get the motor out because I couldn't get the exhaust off, and drastic times called for drastic measures. So that's the muffler end, and you can see it's still got a bunch of good metal on it. I did it in the spot where I figured it could be welded, and I put some location lines on there that will hopefully allow that to be married back up if I can get that union to let go. Anyway, this is the frame for the 88 250 ES Big Red, made in October of 1987. The VIN is not where you'd want your VIN to be as far as legibility. But that right there is the J of 88. So when I drop this off at the powder coaters today, I will stress to him that what the VIN looks like now, it needs to be at least that legible. I've got my pile of stuff to send to the powder coater. I've got another set of foot pegs because these are both bent. I don't know which ones I'm going to use, but I've got some other ones I got to look at. Front rack is over there. I got to look through some things because I want to use those racks for this machine, and that rack's got its issues. Anyway, the biggest thing I needed to get to the powder coater is the frame and swinger pieces. So yeah, we'll see how far we get. I'm going to be unable to work on my machine for the next 10 days. So while I am idle, it needs to be progressing in some way. So that'll work. That's where I'm going to leave it for now. Get things loaded up. Hopefully get these triples off. And there we go. See you in a minute.